guys, in today's video, I want to share a story with you that might help you on your YouTube journey to understanding the experience of what it's like to be on YouTube and what you're going to face along the way, because it is a really awesome journey to be on YouTube. I love the YouTube platform. Everybody knows that. I think it's amazing for sharing your passion and making a profit from your passion. I think it's great for that. But there is a little bit of things you need to traverse on the way. And so I think by sharing this story, it will help you to understand what to expect and to know that what you're experiencing, if you're already in the thick of it, is normal. And there are a few things you need to overcome in order to be on YouTube and be a content creator. So let's get to it. Okay, so I want you to imagine that you are walking in a beautiful forest. Sun is shining, and you're walking on a kind of like mulch trail. So it's a soft trail, with like mulch on it. And it's a nice day, and you're walking along, and this is your YouTube journey. You just started out, sun is shining, everything seems open, opportunities abound and everything. And you're walking along, and then all of a sudden in your path, giant boulders come falling from the sky and just boom, 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 boom. And they block your path. And when they finally stop landing on top of each other, they actually form this really large, obese like woman. Gray, like stone-like woman. And she's just laughing and laughing and laughing, like roaring laughter, like deep from inside. And you're just staring at this person, and you're like, you're in my way. Could you please move? I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm on this path. I'm on this YouTube journey, and you're blocking my way. And you try to look around, and there's no way around this woman. And then she just laughs and laughs at you. And then she turns to stone. And then it's all these boulders, like 2 stories high above you. And you're like, how do I get around this? You look on the sides, and you can't find a way around. And then you notice on these boulders that there are these words engraved in the boulders. And it's things like, you'll never make it, or you've always failed in the past, or why do you think you're so special? Or you never take anything seriously. Do you actually think you're smart enough? You're too old. You're too young. You're too ugly. You're too boring. There's all these things written on these boulders. And then the woman comes back to life. The rock woman comes back to life and starts spitting out these words at you. You're too boring. You're too ugly. You're too stupid. You're too this. You're too that. And you're starting to get a little mad because you're like, hey, I determined this year I'm going to build a YouTube channel, and you are blocking the way. She laughs some more, and then she goes to stone again and solid rock. And you're like, could you please move? I'm finally doing this. I'm finally committing to this. Can you please get out of my way so I can continue on my path? And she doesn't answer anymore. There's no more laughter. There's no more nothing. But what you notice is those engravings are so deep in the rock. They're so deep that they almost act as handholds if you want to climb over the rocks, because there's no way around on the sides. There's no way to bypass these boulders. So you're like, well, I want to do this. I want to do YouTube. I'm going to climb these rocks. So you stick your hands in those holes of those words of, you're not good enough. You're too young. You're too old. You're too ugly. You're too boring. You're too stupid. And you're just climbing up and climbing up and climbing up over all these things. You failed in the past. You'll never achieve anything. You're a loser, blah, 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 blah. And you get to the top. And at the top, you feel so powerful because you're on top of those negative words. And you are so excited. You just jump and you jump and you jump. And as you jump, those boulders get squished into the ground, into that soft earth. And you keep jumping, and finally, you're back on the ground. But what you notice this time on the trail, it's no longer a soft mulch path. It's like a concrete, solid, paved path for you to walk on. And now you feel solid in your walk, and you can walk faster because you've conquered all of that negativity. You've conquered all those fears, all those negative things about you, those people laughing at you, you laughing at yourself, you not believing in yourself. You conquered that, and now you move forward, and the path is easier, and you're walking, the sun is shining, you're feeling great. You're like, yes, I'm going to do this YouTube journey. I'm going to do this. I conquered the fear. I got on YouTube. I can do this. And you're walking, and you're walking, walking. And then all of a sudden, there's all these books falling out of the sky, and they create this wall in front of you. Books. like tons of books. And you're like, yes, I love books. This is great. Books are amazing. I love books. So you're like, that's no problem. And then you go to the books and you're just like, well, they're loose and it's just a wall of books. So you're like, I'll just start to take the books out of the wall and make a little hole to go through the wall. And so you start doing that. But all of a sudden, when you start pulling the books out and putting them on the ground and trying to get through this wall, they take flight. Some of them stay on the wall, but some of them come off and take flight, and they act like seagulls in your face trying to get your sandwich at the beach. They're flapping their wings in their face, and you're la la. And so you're trying to take the books off the wall with one hand, and you're trying to swat them with the other hand. And you're like, I'm trying to get through this. Oh my God. And then all the books start flying in your face, and they're like, read me. Pay attention to me. You don't know this yet. You need to know this. You need to know this. What about this wisdom? You can't go on without knowing this. You can't proceed. You need to know this. I have all this advice, all this knowledge in these books. You need to read these books. And you think for a second, oh my gosh, I don't know everything. Maybe I do need to sit here at this wall of books. Maybe this is a sign that I need to stop on this journey and learn more and get more knowledge before I proceed. Maybe that's what this hurdle is telling me, that I need to stop. I need to learn more. I don't know enough. Who am I to think that I can teach people? I don't know enough about this topic. And so you ponder stopping. But those seagulls are flying all over your face and you're like, no, this is too uncomfortable. I need to get out of here. And so you just start swatting at the books and you keep pulling the books and you run through that wall. And on the other side, the books start clapping. They use their binding, they use their covers, and they clap. They are proud of you. You did not get distracted by knowledge. You did not get distracted by taking another course, by doing another masterclass, by doing another mastermind, by reading another book or trying to do all this stuff. They did not stop you this time. So they are proud of you. They are like cheering you on. You did it. You got through that biggest hurdle of feeling like you don't have enough knowledge to do what you want to do, or not enough experience, or you feel like you could still learn more, but you went through, you ran through there and you got through. And so all the books are clapping for you, and all the books lined up on the side of the path. They're like guardrails on the side of the path. And they say, we're here when you need us. If you need us, we're here. We've got you. And you feel solid. You feel, okay, when I need reference, when I need knowledge, I can go to my courses. I can go to that. But right now I'm walking this path of YouTube and I'm doing this path of YouTube. And you keep walking and you keep walking. And then all of a sudden, the path is gone. And it's just water everywhere, a vast sea. And you're like, okay, I guess I need to start swimming. So you jump in the water and you start swimming. But as soon as you jump in the water, the land and the path from which you came disappears. And you are surrounded by only water. No land in sight. And you're like, oh my God, which way do I go? What do I do? I don't even see any land and I don't even see a space where I can get to. Like, I am just floating in this vast ocean. What do I do? And you start to swim a path. Swim a direction. You're like, what if this is the wrong direction? What if I'm not going anywhere? What if I'm just heading towards nothing? What then? What do I do? And so you stop and you're like, maybe I should go this other direction. And then you think, all of this, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this, is the wrong way to proceed. You decide, okay, I'm going within, I'm trusting my gut, and I'm just going to go in a direction that I feel is the best possible direction for me in this moment. Even though there are a million different ways I could go, and I could just go in circles, I'm going to pick a direction, and I'm going to go. This way feels the best way for me at this moment. And you start swimming in that direction. And so you're swimming and you're swimming and you're swimming and you're getting nervous because nothing's happening. You still don't see land. You still don't see anything. And you keep swimming. And then you stop and you're like, should I go back? And you're thinking, if I go back, then I've wasted all that time I just did coming forward. And I've been swimming for many, maybe hours. Who knows how long you've been swimming? You swam so far. But you can't tell how far you've come because you can't see any land. So there's no reference really. So you just keep swimming. And you're like, no, I'm going to follow my gut. I'm going to keep going. Even though I have no evidence that I'm going in the right direction, I'm going to keep going. And you keep going and you keep swimming. And then all of a sudden, a floating dock appears in front of you. And you are like, hallelujah. I can get out of this water and I can get onto some solid ground. But when you get on that floating dock, you realize it's not solid. It's not like the paved path you were just walking on. It is wobbly. It is wiggly. It's a path. It's definitely a path. It's out of the water. So you're out of the water of floating and not knowing what to do, and you're on some sort of solidness. There is some sort of tactile floor below you, even though it's floating on the water that you just came out of. It's something, right? So you grab on and you start to walk on that floating dock. And then you realize you see land now, and you see a hill with steps, and you're like, yes. And you start to run on this dock, and it's making all that noise, like ta-jang, 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 as it wiggles and as you run on it. And you don't care because you're so happy to be on some sort of solid ground, even if it's a little bit wobbly and uncertain. And you run, and then you see that land. And you get on those steps, and you're like, I don't care that this is a mountain I need to climb. They are like probably 1,000,000 steps to get to the top of this mountain. I don't care. I just want to be on solid ground. And so you're on the solid ground. You're walking up these steps. You're walking up these steps one after another, 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 one after another. And you're like, oh my God, I'm tired. I'm getting really tired. And so you sit down. And when you sit down on the steps, you are like, your breath is taken away. You look back at where you have come. You swam through an ocean. You went past the boulders. You went past the flying books. You see that past. You see all of that now. Look how far you have come. You may be exhausted, and you might feel so worn out, but you can see how far you've come, and you're amazed. You're like, wow, I need to keep going. So then you get up from that step, and you keep climbing that hill. And you finally, after many hours of climbing these steps, you get to the top. Your legs feel like jello when you're at the top. But at the top, it's just this open field again. And you're like, now where do I go? I did all this work, and now there's no path. Where is my path? Again, I'm in an open field. I have no idea where to go. So again, you use all the knowledge you've learned along the way, and you learned that intuition, that moment of feeling lost, you just stuck to your guns and you went for it. So the same thing happens here. You stick to your guns. And right now, your guns or your gut is telling you to go to the right. So you go to the right and you walk along the cliff's edge. And then all of a sudden, you see a path, and it goes down to this little cafe on the edge of the cliff. And inside that cafe, there's all these nice little tables, coffee, orange juice. It's this beautiful coastal little cafe high up on a cliff. And you go in there. And when you're in there, someone comes in the door. And you don't know the person, but they come over and they sit across from you on this tiny little bistro table. And they look at you. And you're sitting there and you're like, I'm not sure what to do next. And they tell you, do this. And what they tell you is what you've been wanting to do all along. It's that thing that you've been thinking about all the time, but you weren't brave enough to do it. You've been doing all these other things, maybe circling around that area. But the one thing you really want to do on YouTube, you've been maybe a little hesitant to do. And they tell you, do that. And you get goosebumps over your entire body. And you're like, you're right. I really need to do that. I've come all this way through the ocean, through the path, through the dock, up the stairs, into that field, into this cafe, just to meet you, yourself, basically, to tell you that you already know what to do. You just need to trust yourself and do it. You've made it this far. Now, really jump. Jump with both feet. Go after what you truly want. You've seen you can do all this. You've seen all the stuff you can accomplish and how far you've come by overcoming all of those hurdles and all of those difficult things. And here you are with the secret to what you need to do in the palm of your hands. Implement it, go for it, and do it. And then you do. So, this is what the YouTube journey is like in my mind. There are hurdles. There are things you have to overcome, distractions you have to ignore, people laughing at you, yourself, your own insecurities. You have to overcome those, and you keep showing up. You keep treading water and swimming in a direction, even though you have no evidence that you're going in the right direction, except your own gut, your own belief. And that belief in yourself that you can succeed is so, so important on YouTube. You have to go into YouTube without a doubt that you are going to succeed. If you have any ounce of doubt that you're going to fail, any ounce, it will totally derail everything you've worked for. It will totally derail you from reaching your YouTube goals. I want to point out that even though you got to the top of the hill in this story, again, you are left wondering what next. So that will always be on the YouTube journey. I've experienced it many times on this journey. Even though I have my niche, even though I have clients, even though I know the direction I'm going, what next? Now what? Is always coming back. Because the more you grow, the more you expand, the more you evolve, you're leaving your comfort zones and you're going to another level. And on that another level, it's like going from middle school to high school. You're the newbie. You're the new kid in town. You need to learn how to proceed from that point on. It's just like that. It's just like you went from being at the top, right? You were in middle school, you were in 8th grade, you were at the top. And then all of a sudden, 9th grade, high school, back at the bottom, back at not knowing what to do, feeling like you don't know anything, but you forget that you have all that wisdom and knowledge and experience that you have brought with you. And that is what you use to continue and to move on. Feeling like you don't know what you're doing, even though it's going to happen at lots of points of time in this journey, it's not a bad thing. It's an amazing thing. It means you are growing. It means that you are experiencing new things. It means that you are succeeding. It does not mean you are failing. If you feel lost, if you feel confused, you are not failing by any means. You are in a new place, a new level, the next level. And now you need to figure out what the heck to do so that you can keep going on that level and succeed at that level to get to the next level. So YouTube is awesome, but it is going to test you, and it is going to test you a lot along the way. There are so many ways that you will be tested on YouTube. But I want you to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep climbing those steps. Keep swimming in that vast ocean. Keep climbing those boulders, despite them all making fun of you and telling you can't do it. Climb those boulders. Use that negativity to grab into it, to go, to conquer it, to reach optimistic levels, to reach positivity, to reach your success. You can get there. I promise you, you can get there if you stick to your guns, if you stick to your intuition, if you really, truly believe that you can get there, you will get there, and that you don't give up. You could give up. You could have seen that ocean and not gotten in it. You could have looked at that ocean and be like, if I get in it, that's the death of me. If I jump in that water, that's the death of me. I can't swim that well. I don't even see where I'm supposed to swim to. I should just go back. You know what? I should go back to those books and read how to get across that water. That's what I should do. I should go back to the books, read about the vast ocean and how to conquer that vast ocean. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. And that is why so many people fail on YouTube, because they go a certain distance, they get uncomfortable, they realize they don't have all the answers, and then they turn back. You know what? You don't need all the answers. You never need all the answers in life. You just need to go for it and figure it out along the way. I am figuring this out every step of the way as I go. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time, but I just keep going. I'm like, that worked. I'm going to keep doing that. When that stops working, I'm going to do something else. And when I get to this point, then I need to figure out what to do next. Like, it's just part of the process. So I really want to let you know that if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling like, I don't know what to do next, that is totally normal on YouTube. In fact, it's totally normal in life whenever you try to grow beyond who you are, whenever you try to do something different, make a better life for yourself, make a better life in any way for yourself, you're going to experience exactly what I've talked about on this journey. So I just hope this encourages you and lets you know that you're doing it right. You're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, right? And you will get there if you keep trying and you push through all those moments where you feel like giving up, all those moments where you're like, oh, this hill is too big. Even though there's steps with a path, when you didn't have a path before and now you have a path, you still are like, I don't know if I can make it. That is really tall. But you know what? You just got to take one day at a time, one step at a time. And also do not forget to sit down, take a break, and look back at all you've achieved, how far you've come, and that will inspire you to keep going. And by the way, I know you can do it if you stick with it. Oh my gosh, I just want to scream it from the hilltops, because YouTube, if you don't give up, it will give you so much back. My life completely transformed from 6 months ago. Completely transformed. I work from home. I work with amazing people. I'm learning about people's dreams. It's incredible. So you've got this. You've got this. You can learn to swim. You can learn to climb a mountain. You can learn to climb boulders. You can do it all. YouTube, everything is figure outable on YouTube. You can do it. I promise. If you need help, reach out. I'm here for you. Come to my Skool community. Come to my YouTube channel. Stay here, subscribe, and I will teach you everything that I possibly can that I'm learning along the way to help you go where you want to go faster. But you have to put in the work. You have to climb those boulders. You have to, bat away all that education that constantly makes you feel like you're not good enough. You just need to go for it. Swim, climb, hike, trust your gut, and go for it. I'm so excited to see you grow your YouTube channel now. So go for it and let me know how it's going. I'd love to hear from you all, and let me know what you thought of this story, if it inspired you at all. It's one of my cuckoo stories. But anyway, wishing you guys the best and have a great day. Bye for now.